Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon bringing you guys a twin flame reading. So what I thought I would do is I would just go over a quick disclaimer first. And at the very end of this reading, I'm going to go ahead and go into the reasons why I have been gone. So the thing is if you're not interested in hearing it, and if you have never worked with me before or don't plan to in the future, no problem. You don't even need to listen to it. You can enjoy the reading. But before I even get into this reading, I just wanted to let everybody know what my gifts were and how they work, so that way there is no misconception. So Mystic Moon is not a psychic or a clairvoyant, which means that I cannot predict the future. I don't see things in my mind's eye, okay? I'm claircognizant. So that means that spirit implants thoughts into my head and then I speak them out very fast. It's like automatic writing. Some automatic writer would write things down very quickly because those are the messages that are coming through them that are through spirit. It's the same thing with me for claircognizance. So I'm speaking the things that are coming into my mind. I'm also a tarot card reader, and I've been doing tarot for 20 years. So I have a pretty good knowledge of tarot in general, so I can read cards very well in that aspect. And I'm also an empath, which means that I can pick up on energies. So I can read the energies of people's situations. So when people come to me and they want to know energies between them and another person, I can go ahead and read those. But please remember that energies, just like people, just like the weather, just like moods, change. So the energy that we're seeing today may change tomorrow, okay? So if you guys are looking for specific predictions, you guys are going to have to see a psychic. You're not going to find those types of predictions here, okay? So I just want to let you guys know that even before getting into the reading, if you guys are interested to hear about where I've been or changes that I've made, it's going to be at the end of this reading. So stay tuned and enjoy the reading. So this particular reading that we're going to be doing here today is one that I offer on my Etsy shop. And this is the twin flame connection reading. So I've revised it. So this is a little new that you guys are going to see. This is what you can expect if you decide to get this reading from me. It is a 45-minute reading. I'm not sure if it'll be 45 minutes today, maybe 45 minutes or longer, but that's the time for this. And I have gotten this idea from another reader out there. I think her name is Soul Consciousness. Great reader. I've never actually personally worked with her before, but I do watch her readings on YouTube. So she's a great reader. And she doesn't just do twin flame. She does a bunch of stuff. But this is where I got the idea of getting the Syrian Starseed Tarot, which are these cards I'm about ready to use. She breaks them up in suits and she uses them to kind of differentiate between the mental energies as well as the emotional energies. And that's what I'm going to be doing here today. I just wanted you guys to know wasn't my original idea. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the suit of swords, which is the orbs in this particular tarot deck. And we're going to be shuffling this, asking, where is the divine masculine in his current mental space, okay? So this is just in general. Where is he at mentally at this space and time, okay? It could have to do with the connection. It could just be in his just regular life, whatever. But that's the card right there that wants to pop out. So we're going to take a look at that. He is the Eight of Orbs, which is the Eight of Swords energy, you guys. So the Eight of Orbs is a card that is a little bit of a tricky card because it has to do with somebody that's feeling emotionally stuck. Now we can see in this card here, we have this woman. It looks very dark and she has this blindfold on. She looks like she's trapped, like she can't move. But as we know with the Eight of Swords energy, this is really just about your own feelings of being trapped. Technically, you can get out of this predicament that you put yourself in, but unfortunately you may be blind to something. You may not want to make a decision. It may just feel very hard and it just is like, I just can't deal with it. So what I'm seeing here for divine masculines is that they may mentally be thinking about something where they're just feeling really trapped, or they just really feel like they just can't get out of a situation. They'd like to, but they're just not really wanting to face something. They're not wanting to face either the energy that it's going to take. They're not wanting to face the consequences that it may occur from their actions if they remove themselves. This could be a karmic relationship that some of them are in. It could be something that they've done to you. It could be anything that's just confining them. This could be a divine masculine who is just really needing to do something and he's just choosing not to. Maybe it's laziness, maybe it's fear, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is. He's choosing to stay stuck mentally. So he's really struggling right now is what I'm seeing for the divine masculine. So why don't we go ahead and take a look now at his emotional space. So of course we're going to use the suit of chalices, which are the cups. Where's the divine masculine currently in his emotional space? Because where we're at emotionally and mentally could be two different things. So let's see if it matches up or it's different. Well, that's the one that wanted to come out, so we'll take that one. Two of chalices, very interesting. So what I'm getting here is that this feeling of being stuck, or this feeling where he feels like he can't mentally move forward out of a situation, it could be connected to another person. It really could. This could also be connected to you as well. So it just really depends on your situation. So again, remember, these readings are general. So take the messages as they resonate and just get rid of the rest. Okay. But yeah, for some of you, it could just be that they are trapped in an emotional connection with somebody else. They're trapped in some sort of a pairing with another person. Okay. So emotionally, that's where they're at. They're emotionally thinking about something. But for some of them, what I'm getting here is that they may just feel emotionally or mentally trapped, but emotionally it's like they still feel this connection. This connection could be with their divine feminine is what I'm getting here. As in, they might feel like they don't know what they're doing. Some of them may have done something. They may have created some kind of an issue or a problem, and so they feel quite stuck and they don't know how to move forward because emotionally in their heart, that's how they feel. They feel very positive towards their divine feminine. They would love to come together with their divine feminine and have that Two of Cups experience with her. But the Eight of Orbs stops them from moving forward with that. It could be their own fears. It could be something that they did. It could be something where they feel like you wouldn't allow them to come back, or you wouldn't want them to come back, or there will be hell to pay if they came back. Something like that. So where they're at mentally and emotionally are different, as we can see this here, okay? But again, some of this entrapment could be due to a situation that they're currently involved in as far as a relationship is concerned. Why don't we go ahead and take a look what the physical world looks like? What's going on in the 3D world? This could be career, just body, just home, etc. Sorry, a lot of cards popped out and I just wasn't feeling just one. I wanted to get another one here. What is going on in the 3D world for the divine masculine? Seven of Crystals. This is the Seven of Pentacles energy. So as we can see here, the Seven of Crystals here in this card, we have somebody who's just kind of sitting there and they're looking at all their options. They're looking at something and they're just kind of trying to figure out like, okay, where do I go from here? So to me, it's kind of matching up with this storyline. Really, either way, whether this is the divine feminine or it is somebody else. But regardless, the Eight of Orbs is that energy for the divine masculine, and I'm feeling very trapped. I feel like I can't move forward because of this, or I'm feeling trapped. I want this, but I can't get this for some reason. I'm really struggling with this. Seven of Crystals is somebody who is really taking the time to sit back and look at what they've done so far. The moves they've made, what they've done in the material world, how they've grown. Is there potential moving forward? The Seven of Crystals to me is a card, of course, that we pause. But this is also a card where we determine whether or not we're going to move forward in that same direction that we've been going, or are we in fact going to change the direction? What are we going to do? So that's what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing the divine masculine really sitting there and thinking to himself, what do I want to do? Do I want to fight for this? Do I want to go for this? Do I want to continue to stay stuck in this energy? What do I want to do? Do I want to get rid of this if it, in fact, is a karmic? Do I want to continue to stay stuck? What is it that I'm going to do? But I'm definitely seeing this heavy contemplation mode going on in the 3D world when it comes to the divine masculine. Now, of course, this could be financial and career. Your divine masculine could really be at this point in his life where he's not sure where to go. Maybe there's an opportunity to do something different. Who knows? Whatever that is, there is some sort of heavy contemplation mode when it comes to 3D. So let's talk about his energy levels, like his passions, his current passions, energies, focus, intentions, things like that. With the Three of Flames. Okay, so the Three of Flames really is a card of somebody who is thinking about a goal. They're thinking about something that it is that they want. The Three of Flames for me too can sometimes be the twin flame plus the idea of bringing the two twin flames together. That could be a possibility as well, because we do see the Two of Chalices here, which speaks about somebody who is thinking about their union with somebody. Okay, so it could be this projected idea into the world as what does that look like? So this could be the focus of their intentions as in I'm focused on a goal, or I'm looking into the future and I'm trying to imagine what that looks like with my divine feminine. That could be it for some of them, but it could just be in general as well, where somebody is just really looking off into the distance and they're waiting to see what's going to be coming back to them. Because that's really what the Three of Wands is really about in traditional tarot. It shows a man who has he's looking off into the distance and he's waiting for his ships to come back because of the energy or the plan that he has set in motion. So there is something that's being set in motion here. So when we say intention and energy, I definitely see forward movement here. I'm seeing the potential to move forward with an idea or some kind of a hope or some kind of desire. So even though we have the confusion here, I just see somebody who is wanting to move forward with some kind of a plan or some kind of passion or some kind of a feeling that they're feeling. And it could be because they are feeling this connection with their divine feminine, so they want to do something with this. But the 8 and the 7 to me, and these two suits, I see positive and then I see the drawback here. So it's kind of 50-50 right now. So mentally, emotionally, how we feel emotionally, but our mind can really stop us. Our mind can really trip us up. Also here, stress in the 3D world, especially the taxing feeling of our stress on our physical body, can sometimes create our energies to be diminished. And so we feel like we don't have the energy to move forward with our goals. So it's not all negative, but it's not all positive for the divine masculine. I'm just really seeing that that's where his current energies are at. So what he will do with it, we don't know, but that's just where he's currently at. So I just, again, want to just say, if this is in fact about a karmic relationship that they find themselves in, I'm definitely seeing that they have this feeling of wanting to move past that and not stay stuck in that situation any longer. Okay. I'm seeing that they're starting to look outside of that situation and they're seeing some sort of better option, or they're seeing something else that they want. They don't want to stay stuck in that energy anymore. So why don't we go ahead and take a look now at the divine feminine, her mental space. So we're going to do the same thing, which is going to be the orbs cards here, the swords. Where's the divine feminine currently at in her mental energy? These two came up for some reason. And you know what's so funny is that Adept of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords, isn't even supposed to be in there. So I'm going to take that as a sign. I already individually categorized these cards, and that wasn't supposed to be in there. So it's for a reason. Okay, so as we can see, the Nine of Orbs, it's definitely a hard card here. It's a card of solitude. It's a card where somebody feels alone. So mentally, this is somebody who is either having nightmares or stress or anxiety, and they're just feeling like they're really mulling something around in their head. They're really just kind of bashing the shit out of a thought or situation, and it just almost seems like a little bit obsessive at this point. So they don't feel great. I'm not saying that that's for all divine feminines out there. Like, it could just be other things. It might not be connected to your divine masculine. It just could be stress, period. But I definitely see this feeling where somebody's suffering in silence. The Adept of Swords is the Knight of Swords. And so I think it's interesting because the Knight is about somebody that wants to move forward. So mentally, this could be the thoughts of the divine feminine saying, I want to communicate, I want to move forward, I want to take some kind of drastic measure or drastic action, because she doesn't want to feel that Nine of Orbs anymore. So I feel that's why it's coming through here for some of you, is that you might want to move past this energy. Well, I mean, who wouldn't, right? Move past this energy, or actually take action and do something to change this, or communicate in some way and charge towards the situation. Or because you're so unhappy, it could even be that you want to take a sword and actually hurt people because you're feeling so unhappy. Hey, I understand that energy completely. I was actually in that energy last week, so maybe that's why it's coming up. But that's just it. So it's very mental energy coming up in the mental realm right now. And it's just that reminder that to make sure that your own unhappiness and your own guilt or your own frustration or sadness doesn't get in the way of actually taking the proper action. If you do want to take action, make sure that you take that time to properly process it before you go charging off with the feelings. I think that's what the message is. So let's go ahead and take a look at the emotional space of the Divine Feminine here. These two cards wanted to come out. So for some reason, more cards are wanting to come out for the Divine Feminine. We have the Three of Cups coming up for her, and we also have the Nine of Chalices. Okay, so for her emotional space, I do like the Three of Cups because the Three of Cups here, and sometimes it does come up where we're talking about, you know, maybe there's three people involved in a situation. I do not feel that that is the case for this particular reading. I don't. And the reason why is because it's paired up nicely with the Nine of Chalices. So what I'm getting here actually is I'm getting a lot of self-care. We have another 9 coming up. So to me, the Nine of Chalices, yes, is a card of wishes fulfilled, wishes coming true, people thinking about what they want. But to me, this is somebody who is really, really taking time to think about what it is that they want. Okay. And it really doesn't have to do with the union is what I'm seeing here. The Three of Chalices is a card of friends, family. It's a card of people that are around us that are good for us. And so if some of you Divine Feminines have been feeling like, you know, you're either not in contact with your Divine Masculine, or there's a lot of pain that's connected to your Divine Masculine, what I'm seeing here is that you guys are really wanting to change this energy. Yes, you are. You're wanting to change this Nine of Swords and come more into this Nine of Cups energy. The Nine of Cups energy is beautiful because we start to think about what it is that we truly want. What do we want out of life? What things are going to make us happy? What are our dreams? What wishes do we want to come true for ourselves? I feel like this is more of a self card rather than the union, paired up nicely with that Three of Chalices. It's about enjoying one's family life, or enjoying friends or celebrations, or just having a more casual time instead of being so serious, because I feel like that might be what has led some of the Divine Feminines to be in that Nine of Orbs energy. She doesn't want to feel that way anymore. She wants to get out of that energy, and she wants to go towards things that are healthy for her, people that care about her, people that want to support her, you know, in that emotional supportive way, people that really want to be with her. Sometimes it's really hard and taxing on people. I mean, it's not sometimes, it just is when you're dealing with somebody that is just no, no, no. I don't want to be with you. I'm confused. I need space. I need time. I mean, that can really do a number on people, a psychological state. And I'm just speaking from personal experience, and you can really hold on to that energy and personalize it and process it in such an unhealthy way to where you can literally keep it with you for years and years and years. And it sucks. And so sometimes you might feel just so down on yourself or not good enough, to where sometimes it's just nice to be around people that actually want to be around you, that actually want you in their life. If somebody's telling you, I don't want you in my life, or it's not right, or I'm not in love with you, whatever the deal is, it's about going towards an energy where people are saying, hi, let's hang out, let's go out, let's have a good time, let's go to a party, or let's have a celebration, or let's go see a movie, or let's have a girls' night. I mean, those kinds of energies are very healing. And that's what I'm seeing here for the Divine Feminine, is that maybe that's the energy that she's really wanting to concentrate on. She's wanting to concentrate on the things that are going to make her happy. It's almost like somewhat detaching a little bit from from her twin flame. Doesn't mean that's for all of you, just so you know, but this could just be a part of it. Some of you are content to do that. Some of you are in a great space with your Divine Masculine, and that you're just concentrating on other things. You're not so focused on him anymore. You're more focused on yourself, is what I'm seeing. So it's a healthy way. It's a healthy meaning either way, is what I'm seeing here. So let's go ahead and see what's going on in the physical 3D material world, career-wise, money-wise, physical-wise 3D for the Divine Feminine. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to choose one here. I love it. 3 9s. 3 9s. So, hey, I always see that cards are coming up like this. There could be a reason that 9s, if some of you guys have a life path number of 9, this could be special significance for you. 999, if you see it, that could be specific for you as well, or significant. So take the time to look up what that angel number means. It could be a special message for you. It could be the 9th month, or 9s are just personal to you. But whatever this is, the 9 of Pentacles to me is one of the best cards with this 9 of Chalices, because this just tells me here, and I see the progression. The Nine of Orbs. First of all, nines to me are numbers of solitude. So this is the time where we take the time we reflect on what it is that we want. And sometimes that can feel very hard and sad. But other times we really are building things up around ourselves that are quite enjoyable. And we're taking the time to see what it is that we want in life. So for you guys to get the Nine of Crystals lined up with these nines already, being in your 3D physical space and career, this is a divine feminine who is just really concentrating on herself for a change. Maybe she's been so focused on her divine masculine that she's finally starting to take time to take better care of herself. She's starting to see that there are other people in her life besides the divine masculine. There are more things to enjoy in life than her divine masculine. There are other things, there are other people, there are other experiences that she is going to have, or other people that she is going to continue to grow with, or better times that are ahead, so that way she can move out of that Nine of Orbs energy. It's more about enjoying life. It's more about feeling good in life. She doesn't want this energy anymore. This is crappy energy. She doesn't want to be here anymore. So mentally, she might still be battling that. But what I'm actually seeing here is that in her emotional space and in her 3D space and what she's got going on in the material world, I really feel like it's outweighing this Nine of Swords energy. So it's very positive for the divine feminine. Now let's see energy-wise, her intentions, her passions, what she's focusing on. Oh my gosh, you guys, I swear. The 9 again, 4 nines. Holy crap. Okay. There's a reason for this, you guys. I'm really seeing that the nines are, again, it's about solitude. It's about self-reflection. It's about you guys are on the brink of some kind of completion of a cycle. So you guys are right there. So for some of you, if you've been feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm barely hanging in there, because that's what the Nine of Flames is. I'm barely hanging in there. I'm just persevering at this point. I'm just in survival mode. I'm just kind of going with the motions, etc. It's all going to be worth it in the end. It is. So just hang in there, because what you have ahead of you is this Nine of Crystals and Nine of Chalices. So I'm just telling you guys, the nines are happening for a reason here. It's just to spell out to you, divine feminines, that you guys are at the end of some sort of a cycle, to where things aren't going to be so hard. You're going to be going into a period of, so if things, I know that a lot of people actually reached out to me about the moon cycles and all this other stuff. I'm really not that great when it comes to if I can even say the word astrology and moon phases. It is something that I'm going to be learning a lot more about this year. And so you can probably count on seeing those connections when it comes to my future readings. But as of right now, I'm just not really great at moon connections or what the moon means and the signs and all that other stuff. It doesn't take away my knowledge of the tarot. You do not have to have that knowledge in order to read tarot, even though there are astrological influences within the tarot. But it's just not something I focus on. So my point is that this energy with this new moon, or whatever it was, super moon, I don't really know a lot about it, but all I know is that it definitely affected me. I don't know why it did, but it did in a huge way. So I'm sure that it has affected a lot of you out there as well, which is why all these nines are here, as in this is heavy shit. This is things that are just right on the verge of the next phase for you guys. Okay. So for some of you, this could have already happened. For some of you, this could be coming up. For some of you, this could be current. Whatever it is, it's major. It's time to close out things that are no longer working for us. It is time to move on in a healthier way, because what we have here, you know, this isn't necessarily an unhappy card, but it's a card that's stressful. And this card, of course, that Nine of Swords is a sad card, but we do have the Nine of Chalices and the Nine of Crystals, along with the Three of Cups, which is about celebrations and good times. So definitely more positive in this reading to me than negative. So those are beautiful. So 4 nines, you know, divine feminines, it must mean something. It must mean something. So let's go ahead and take a look now at the energies of the divine masculine as far as his current focus and his lessons. So what I do is and actually what I'm going to do, because that was supposed to be a part of this. This was supposed to be in the court cards. So what I do is I mix up all the court cards now, because we're going to see what the focus is of the divine masculine. So with the suit, and depending on who he is coming across and with the suit, will tell us where his level is at, what he's currently focusing on. This is what he's currently focusing on. We've got Master of Flames. What a beautiful card. And then I take the Major Arcana and I shuffle that to see what the lesson is. The focus and the current lesson. What is the Divine Masculine's current lesson? There it is. And we have the Hierophant card, guidance. Wow. Okay, so the Master of Flames. Now, the Masters are the kings. So this is somebody who is trying to master this suit. Flames are wands. Wands are energy, creativity. Sometimes it also represents spirituality. And the thing is, I want to lean more towards that because this is a very spiritual card, the Hierophant, okay? The Hierophant, of course, is also about traditions. It's about commitment. It's about marriage. It sometimes is about school as well. So some Divine Masculines could really be putting their effort and their time into school or institutions. Maybe some of them are in school. There could be some Divine Masculines that are really just looking to master their spirituality in some way. There's also some of them that may want to, they're starting to think now, or they're starting to become more mature in the aspects of commitment, as in marriage, children, families. What do they want to do long term? They might be taking the time to look at the bigger picture, okay? So the current focus and lesson could be all of those things for Divine Masculines right now. So just take the messages as they resonate. So some of those messages could apply to some of you and others it might not. But the Master of Flames is somebody who's definitely trying to master this type of Hierophant energy, which is that spirituality, what it all means long term, what I want to do with my life. Like I said, school, marriage, family, spirituality, the connection to the universe, etc. That's what we have this, you know, what is that? I don't really even know what that is. Is that like, I don't think that's a Buddha. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry, guys. But it's just a very spiritual person that's sitting there in this position of meditation. They're sitting there in this meditation. And they want to master this. They want to master their spiritual guidance, possibly for some of them right now. So it's just very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So that's a good thing. So that's the current focus, and the current lesson at this time is to hopefully master that energy. So now let's go ahead and go for the Divine Feminine. What is she currently focusing on? She is currently focusing on emotions. Beautiful. This is the Adept, which is another card that came up for her before, which is the Knight. This is about actually moving forward at a fast movement, charging towards something, pursuing something. So with it being a Chalices, this is emotional, some kind of emotional fulfillment on her part. What does she want to emotionally fulfill and work on? Divine Justice. This is the Justice card, okay? So what she wants to work on currently is some kind of justice within her life, emotional. This is about balance to me as well, because we have the scales here, okay? So she could just be wanting some kind of justice when it comes to how she feels about her emotional situation. There could have been something that happened to her that caused her a lot of grief. And so she's almost leaving it up into the hands of the divine. I think that's very interesting that it's coming up by saying divine justice rather than just justice, as in she's leaving it up to the divine to create the justice in the, to serve the justice that's needed in the situation. She's willing to wait. So we have the Adept, which says she's charging forward. What I'm getting here though is that whatever has happened to her, she's not letting it hold her back. She's not. She's continuing to move forward. So even though if she's been hurt or wounded, let's just say it's from the Divine Masculine or just from another situation, it doesn't matter. She is letting go, and she is letting the universe take control and have their way, or have the Divine Justice have its way with the situation. She's willing to give it to the universe for the time being, and she's willing to move forward, not let anything hold her back or destroy her. That's beautiful. So yeah, that's her main focus right now, is letting go is what I'm seeing. That's just what's coming through. All right, so now we're going to take a look at what the current union energy is. So what I'm using now is the Wisdom of the House of Night cards by Colette Baron Reed and PC Cast, which is an author of books, and they created this deck together. It's a beautiful deck. The only thing that's not pleasant about this deck is that it has super sharp edges. That's the only thing that I would suggest the makers of this deck changing. Other than that, it's amazing. So what is the current union energy? I'm going to go ahead and draw 5 cards on this. I don't know why they're sticking. Okay, current union energy. Okay, so we have cycles, meditation, reminder, understanding. Now, these are very deep cards. To me, the current connection right now for the actual union is, it's not that it's disconnected, but these two people are really working on themselves big time, okay? Because we have the meditation, the self-worth, and the understanding card, and then we have the cycles card. So to me, the cycles are a representation of things are going to take time. It's the cycles of the moon, okay? I'm also seeing that the moon, which we just talked about, is actually playing a huge role in the energies right now. So if a lot of you have been affected, you can count on the fact that your divine masculine or your divine feminine, whoever's watching this, has been affected as well, okay? So there is something about these cycles that are taking place, and it's not just about lunar cycles or planetary cycles. It really is just about cycles, period. As in, this is a cycle right now. There's certain things that need to be cycled through before people can come back together and have a better understanding of things, which leads me to the understanding card. People really need understanding. They need some sort of spiritual awakening or spiritual understanding, and how they get that is to go into a deep meditation. So a meditation doesn't necessarily have to be like sitting in that, that energy here, which it's funny that we have this with the divine masculine, that is his current focus and lesson right now. Somebody who is in that meditative spot or stance, or not a stance, a sitting situation. Oh my gosh. Okay, whatever. Yeah, so that's the thing. So meditation is really just about, that's how you're going to get connected, to have that deeper spiritual understanding. And it's going to take time. It's going to take time to cycle through some of these things, some of these issues, or some of these problems, or whatever it is, because we do have the self-worth card coming up here. As in, there might be somebody in this situation, or it could be the both of you, that does not feel worthy. And so these self-worth issues have to be worked out. And this takes time. It's not something that can just happen overnight. So I think it's interesting that we were talking about this earlier, that I felt it with one of those cards, is that the divine feminine could have been just so beat down emotionally, or just feel so sad about the things that has happened to her, whether it be a betrayal or just feeling rejected or whatever it is. These things can really wreak havoc on somebody and just do a number on their mind, which is what we saw with those 9 of Orbs energy. And it really is going to take some time for her to rejuvenate herself and to replenish and restore the happy times, which is why we had that 3 of Cups coming up for her, and that 9 of Cups coming up for her, which is like what makes the divine feminine happy. It's about spending time with people that want to be around her, that are nurturing her instead of rejecting her. So it takes time. So that's why the self-worth, I believe, is coming up for the divine feminine. But this could also be for the divine masculine, as in, he may not feel good enough for his divine feminine, so he's currently working on that as well. He may have done things to the divine feminine to where he doesn't feel like he is worthy of her any longer. So there could be that going on too. We do have the reminder card here, which is the don't forget card. Okay. So the reminder card, as in don't forget, this card for me, when it comes up, just means that there's really nothing that you can do, unfortunately, to forget your twin flame, or your twin flame forget you. Now, could people still be in that unawakened process? Yeah, sure. But the thing is, there are things throughout this lifetime that will constantly remind these two twin flames who are connected. They will always be reminded of each other. So I think that for some people, they are very afraid to move on with their lives, or they're very afraid to temporarily detach if they need to for their own sanity or whatever the deal is. And so they are afraid that if they let go, that somehow their divine masculine or their divine feminine is going to forget about them. But sometimes people just need space. Sometimes people need to go through certain cycles before they can come to some sort of understanding and learn things and be whole, so that way they can come towards us to actually offer us something that's healthy, or us be in a space where we are now able to partake in something that's healthy. But the thing is, it's about don't forget, as in, don't forget me. Please remember, don't forget. That's just what's coming through. It's just a fear card, I feel, that's coming through. It's a fear card, as in, I think there might be some divine masculines out there that are fearful that their divine feminines are actually going to forget about them. That's just what's coming through right now. So there's this fear tied up with all that too. People don't want to be forgotten, but people need to take care of themselves, is what I'm seeing here. Okay, so that's the current energy of the union. So why don't we go ahead and take a look now at how the divine masculine sees his divine feminine. So we're of course going to look at the Psychic Tarot from John Holland. This is the purple deck, and I use this for divine masculine energy. So what is the divine, how does the divine masculine see his divine feminine? So this is either how he sees her or how he's feeling about her at the moment. We'll do this in 3 cards. Okay, so for some of them, they're just straight up confused. We have the Two of Pentacles energy here. Two of Pentacles, movement, changes, or choices and decisions. So we have all these doors. To me, what I see is I see romance, I see love, I see passion, money, I see thought, clarity. There's all these different doors that the divine masculine is currently kind of facing right now, okay? So he could still be in that juggling phase right now, because that's what the Two of Pentacles energy really is. And yes, it sometimes can indicate twin flame, but when I use this deck, I don't use that meaning as much. But yes, the Two of Pentacles here is about somebody who's juggling things. They're either in multiple situations, or they're trying to juggle you and someone else. That could even be the energy, and that's why it's coming through, is they're looking at you as a choice, is what I'm seeing. So for some of you, you might feel like your divine masculine has completely forgotten about you, but that card is saying that that's how he sees you. He still sees you as a choice, or he still sees something that he wants to do with the situation. You know, move towards something, make a decision on something. You're still considered, is what I'm seeing here for the divine masculine. And then we have the Hanged Man, the sacrifice card. So what I'm seeing here too is that the divine masculine may see the divine feminine right now as he may need to be, or he's in a sacrificial state right now to where he cannot be with her, or she can't be with him for some reason. There's some kind of a hold up right now, and it's either on his end or it's on her end. But whatever it is, it's like he knows that he needs to make a move. He knows that he needs to make a choice or a decision, and it's in the sacrificed mode where it's like, I'm taking time to kind of try to figure that out, because that's really what the Hanged Man is. It's about a man who's hanging upside down, and he is gaining some sort of spiritual perspective or a different perspective on a situation. And so it's about taking time. So I'm seeing like how he's seeing his divine feminine right now is on hold. He knows that he needs to do something, but it's still on hold for him. Okay. It's like, it's like on pause or something in the space and time. Yeah. And we have the Tower energy here, disruption. So there could be something else that's either in the way, or there's something that he knows that he has to get rid of before he can even move forward with you. That's just what I'm seeing here for some of you guys. So yeah, how he's seeing you right now is he's seeing you as a choice. He's seeing that he knows he needs to do something with a decision. He needs to make a move, okay? But the current energy for him, even though this is how he's seeing you, is that sacrifice. So what I'm getting from this is that because of whatever's going on in his life, and he knows that he's got to get rid of it, or he knows that he has to fix it, or he has to do something, you're on hold. It's almost like you are being sacrificed. It's interesting because sometimes people, it's like, you always hurt the ones that you love the most. Why would your divine masculine treat you in such a way? Why would your divine masculine choose to sacrifice you and not that other person? That's very interesting. But I feel like I've given this advice before, because this is literally the information that was channeled to me when I was talking about this during one of my readings, which is sometimes the divine masculine, it's like because you guys have this connection, this twin flame connection, it goes so deep. It's almost like the divine masculine or even the feminine, you feel that connection. It doesn't go anywhere. So you're afraid to lose it, but you're not. There's still like, you're able to easily hurt, they're able to easily hurt you, rather than hurt that other person. That other person might seem like it's more of a, I don't know what to do. Like it might seem more significant in a way because it's ego significant. But when your divine masculine is not awakened, he's not going to be awakened to that connection. It's going to feel kind of like, well, it's probably going to be there. I'm not scared to lose it. I hope that made sense, because that was like a total tongue twister. I don't know why the words are just not flowing when I'm trying to describe this, but that's what it is. So how he's seeing his divine feminine right now is he's almost, the word sacrificial lamb is coming through. Like somebody had to be sacrificed, and it was the divine feminine, and it sucks. It really sucks. And the reason why is because he's still got shit that he's hanging on to that's no good for him. There's still parts of who he is, or why he is the way he is, or how he does things that he's still not willing to let go. I feel like this is ego. I feel like this is either another person, whatever it is. This shit's going to have to come crashing down, because as we know with the tower energy comes through and it gets rid of shit that's no longer working for us. And we've been holding on to it way too long, and the universe comes in and says, it's time to let it go. It's time to let it go. It's time for this to come crashing and burning down. So the thing is your divine masculine may have seen you as somebody, or maybe seeing you as somebody that's on hold. He's got to make a choice, but you're still being considered. You're still part of his decisions and a part of what he's thinking, what he's doing, or what he's juggling. But this disruption is really telling the divine masculine that at some point he's going to have to make a decision, because if he doesn't, you can't be a sacrificial lamb forever. So I just feel like the universe is going to step in with this, and how he's looking at you and how he's viewing the situation. I'm not really seeing a lot of movement on the divine masculine's part when it comes to his divine feminine right now. I believe that's why it's coming up like this. He's really not doing anything. He's going to wait for the shit to hit the fan. I think it's very interesting that this card came up for the divine masculine. Eight of Orbs energy. That's where he was in his mental space. He's not willing to, he wants to stay blind, and he wants to stay stuck. He's choosing the more difficult path, which is, I'm just going to put this on hold. I'm not going to decide. I'm going to still juggle, and I'm just going to wait for the shit to hit the fan. I'm sorry, you guys. That's just what's coming through. I feel like there's actually a couple of clients that I have in mind when I'm thinking about their situation that I'm like, that's for you. If you're watching this, that's for you. Yeah, that's crazy. So, again, that doesn't have to apply to everybody out there, okay? And just because of that, what I want to do is, I feel like that was really focused on maybe a few specifics out there. I just feel compelled to draw a new set for maybe a new set of you that did not resonate with. I don't know why. I just need to do that. So let me do that, okay? And if these same cards come up again, it's just Spirit's way of saying, no. Okay. So far, we're good. Okay. Yeah, this is for a new set. It's not that much better. But, okay. What I'm seeing here, the Three of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a great card. So how he sees his divine feminine right now, he could see her as heartbroken. He could see her as somebody that he has done something to. So he has put her in this state. He has put her in this state of sadness. Okay. So that's just what he's looking at her, and he's seeing this. He could have betrayed her. He could have done something to her that has created this heartbreak and loss for her. Okay. We have the Four of Wands, which means how he sees his divine feminine as somebody that he could totally have a life with, somebody who he felt like he had a foundation with, who he felt like he could actually have a family with. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay. But now he's seeing his divine feminine as being emotionally withdrawn from him. So whatever he's done to her, now she's pulling away from him. She's pulled herself away from him. I swear I feel like I'm talking to a specific divine feminine out there. Oh my gosh, you guys, I don't know. Hopefully this rings true for some of you others out there, but I swear I just have these specific people in mind when I'm doing these cards, because I know their situation. So hopefully this resonates, either one of those, okay? But yeah, your divine masculine could have done some fucked up shit to you, and he may have promised you the world, and he feels this way because he does. He looks at you as somebody that he wants to spend his life with, but he's an idiot. So he just keeps fucking things up. And now you're emotionally withdrawn, and now neither one of you are together, and nobody won. It's kind of like that Five of Swords energy. Nobody won. What was the point? What a bummer. So that is just how he is seeing her at this time. Okay. That doesn't mean that's what's, what's set in stone. That's just how he's seeing his divine feminine right now. And it could be because that's the things that he's done, could be. This is how the divine feminine sees her divine masculine. Let's see how this matches up. This is the Psychic Heart Tarot from John Holland. That one just wants to come out, so I'm going to take it. So we have the Seven of Pentacles, awaiting results, the Hermit, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so this was the first card here. How does the divine feminine see the divine masculine? She sees him as there's potential. She's awaiting to see what happens is what she's doing, okay? It's not like she is putting her life on hold, though. I do see progression here. There is this tendency for the divine feminine possibly at this time to maybe just be alone and see what the universe has in store for her, as in going with the flow with the Wheel of Fortune. But if this is the way she's seeing her divine masculine, she's seeing her divine masculine as somebody that needs to grow up, is what I'm seeing. He's somebody that needs to continue to grow. He needs more growth. And she is seeing him right now as either a Virgo, or that's for some of you people out there, if you're dealing with a Virgo, divine masculine, or this could just be that she is seeing him as being in a state of solitude. So maybe he is not with anybody right now. Maybe he is alone. Maybe he's working on himself. He's seeking wisdom within, etc. He's taking a time out. So she could see him as being single, as being alone, and still needing to work on himself. And so, of course, she's awaiting the results of him working on himself. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune card here, which is about going with the flow. So she could also see her divine masculine as things are starting to go in a positive direction for him. Maybe things have been really rocky for him lately, and now she's starting to see him as in things are coming together for him. Maybe he got that promotion, or maybe things are coming together for him in the material world, or things are just really happening for him. But now that she's let go of the expectations of her divine masculine, it's like she's also in that flow as well, as in things are going good for her too. So that's very positive. So I have no inkling to do any other meanings on that. I felt that was just good enough and strong. So what your twin flame wants you to know, so whether these are divine masculines or divine feminines watching, this is what your twin flame wants you to know at this time, okay? So here we go. I'm going to use the Whispers of Love cards from Angela Hartman. What your twin flame wants you to know right now. They want you to slow down. Spiritual connection. Oh my gosh, and the Union of Hearts. To me, those are the best cards in the deck. The Union of Hearts and Spiritual Connection. I'm going to tell you why, because to me, it's about connection. I'm going to read them. This relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. Hello, that's soulmates, that's twin flame, that's past lives, everything. And then we have the Union of Hearts. There is a connection of love that defies explanation. Hello, that's twin flame, because it does defy explanation. As in, how can I still love this person after they've done everything either that they've done, or I'm happy, I have everything that I want. Why do I still care for this person? Why do I still feel connected to this person? So what your twin flame wants you to know, they feel it too. That's the thing. They feel it too. Now, they might not verbalize it like you do. They may not understand what a twin flame is. They may not know anything about this. But on some level, especially with these two cards coming up together, they feel this connection with you too. They do. They don't understand it possibly, or maybe they just try to put it off, or they don't even think about it. They're just like, I can't deal with this, whatever. But at some point in time and space, since they've met you and since you guys have connected and either disconnected again, they still feel it. That's what's coming up, and that's why it's like Spirit's way of screaming right now, because this was a message from your twin flame. That's it. They still feel it. They feel it too. Now, it doesn't mean that just because they have felt it or that they still feel it or whatever, that they're going to do everything that they can that makes you guys come together, that they're going to do the freaking work, that they're going to stop acting like an idiot. I mean, that's not the case usually. But the thing is, it will help some of you to know that you're not crazy, that they do feel this connection with you as well. Okay. But slow down. When you are excited, you get ahead of yourself. Take some time to allow things to unfold. Yep. So it's just like, yes, a lot of us have come onto this twin flame journey and we feel it. And it's just like, oh, I feel it. I know it. I want it. I know it's meant to be. Da, 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 da. You know, the whole thing. Slow down. Slow down. Hold your horses, people. Because the thing is, as we know, there's always divine timing and there's always things that need to happen in people's lives. It's not always on our time. Sometimes it's on somebody else's time. Other times it's on divine timing, and things sometimes can feel very, just very stressful when we're very caught up in the energies of this connection, as of, I gotta have it, I want it, it's the only thing for me, I feel it, it's so there, it's so on point, I feel it's right around the corner. But it's like, you got to slow down. So this is a message from your twin flame's higher self, where you guys are already evolved together in 5D. It's like this information that's coming through to you here. We're connected. This is definitely a spiritual connection. We are already joined within our souls and our hearts through spirit. But you got to slow down and let things naturally unfold. Beautiful cards to get together. Absolutely amazing. Just so you guys know, I don't think I've ever done a reading before with these cards and ever got these two cards in the same reading. So that was very significant to me. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the future energies of this union. Now we are using the Dreams of Gaia Tarot by Raven Felon. One of my favorite decks to use for twin flame connections. So future energies, as in these are possible things that could be happening in the future. Okay, so we have the Three of Wands, which is great. I like the Three of Wands. We actually already got it in this reading with the Divine Masculine. I'm going to bring it out. So to me, this is positive energy, okay? With this particular deck, this does show a guy who's on a journey. And I love that when we're talking about the twin flame journey. This is somebody who is starting to move forward. They're starting to do some work. They're starting to do some growing. They're becoming more aware of certain situations and certain energies that are around them. They may be now consciously coming together within their minds and their hearts and their souls, this connection. They might be consciously feeling this now, and because of it, seeing some sort of new hope or change, something for the future. It's very beautiful. So I like that energy for the future energies. And then we have the Scribe. So the Scribe to me is somebody who's like a mental master, somebody who is mastering the mental energy. So to me, this isn't like the King of Air really per se. It's kind of like, to me, like the Hierophant of the sword suit. The Scribe is somebody who is just all about knowledge. This is all about learning, higher learning, spiritual growth, spiritual understanding. It's very positive. So this just means that there could be definitely some things that are coming up here for the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, where they're really having to be a little bit more in their logical mind space when it comes to what they know, their higher learning, their higher knowledge, being in that frame of their mind where it's just like they just know. They just know how things are. They don't get hyper. They don't get emotional. They just know. Yeah, look at that. And just when I'm talking about it, it's like the thought card comes up, because it really is about what you put into something is what you're going to get out. So we have this beautiful magical cauldron, and whatever she's putting into it, as in her intentions and her thoughts and her knowledge, is what she's going to create, this beautiful magic. So it can be light, it could be dark. It's really up to the people on what they want to do and how they want to see the situation. So it's really about the law of attraction and utilizing their thoughts more wisely, which is what the Scribe is somebody who is a master of their thoughts. And then we have the Eight of Wands. I love this card because to me, this is a card of energy, positive movement forward, possible communication between the divine feminine and masculine in the future. But there is something about universal help as well. To me, the Eight of Wands is almost like a law of attraction card. It's about universal energies working on our behalf because of the things that we put out into the universe. So whatever thoughts we're putting in, it's like it's paying back. Now we're starting to see the development of our thoughts. We're starting to see the developments of our efforts now that we're making on this journey. I think for some people, they have been stuck for so long on this twin flame journey and they haven't been sure like how to move forward. So I think that the Three of Wands showing up here is showing that people are now moving forward. They're not staying stuck. In the future, because we're moving forward, now the universe is giving to us because we're no longer sitting there like victims. Now the universe is giving to us what we've been putting into a situation. We're being paid back what we put in. Yeah. And then we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is a great card in this deck for me because this just means it's the ending of some kind of a hard cycle, the ending of something that's been really, really difficult for a really long period of time. And so for some of you, it may just have felt like such a burden for so long, but now that you've finally mastered something and now you're, kind of getting out into the world again and you're pushing forward and you're now thinking about things in a different way. Now the universe is coming back and now they're sending you forward and now you're able to close off chapters. Now you're able to face the truth of situations and close down things that are no longer working for you and dust yourself off and move forward instead of feeling like a victim or instead of feeling sad about a situation. So it's great. So it's not like the divine feminine and the divine masculine. I don't see any cards of union. That doesn't mean it can't happen. But in this particular reading, to me, I really feel that it's a lot more about, I definitely feel this energy of being stuck for the divine feminine and masculine, but I'm seeing a lot more self-care and more of a journey within. But I really just see that the main energy and the main message for this end here is really about like what you guys put into it is what you're going to get out of it. Okay. So that Three of Wands energy has to be embarked on. This journey moving forward has to be embarked on. People have to put one foot in front of the other. People have to create movement in order to get movement back from the universe. People, whatever you're going to put in as far as your thoughts and your emotions is what you're going to get back. Is it positive or negative? The choice is yours. But it is about letting go of burdensome situations and burdensome pain, because the Ten of Swords is a card usually where a man is laying on the ground and he's got 10 swords in his back. He's dead. There's nowhere else to go but start over. So that's what it is to me. It's really just about like wrapping your mind around that, getting into that mental mastery level of, you know what, it is what it is. What's happened has happened. Now I'm going to pick myself up and I'm going to dust myself off and I'm going to move forward. And when I do that, things are going to start to come together for me. Whether that's towards my twin flame or whether it's just me on my own for a while, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter moving forward. You're willing to do it for you. And that's the bottom line. So that was beautiful. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into what your angels are going to be working on with you. So this is for the person that is watching this right now. So whether you're a divine feminine or masculine, I'm going to pick 5 cards, and these are the 5 things that your angels or your guides are going to be working on with you on this journey in regards to these specific things that came up with this reading. We have dreams. How teachable are you? Hole in the soul. Self-love. And entrapment. Wow. Okay, so we already got cards that are very similar here. To me, self-worth, self-love, very similar. So it doesn't surprise me here if some of you that are watching this identify with this card. This is one of the things that your angels are going to be working on with you when it comes to this connection and this situation and just everything that you're going through right now is self-love. So it's just about having more self-love within yourself. And why? Because we have hole in the soul, which is literally you feel like you have a hole in your heart, a hole in your soul, as in I cannot move forward. I feel trapped. I feel like I can't get up. I feel like I just can't move past the situation. I just feel like I'm quite frankly, I feel like I want to die. Okay. I mean, that's how sometimes it can feel when we have a hole in our heart or a hole in our soul, or the person that we know that we're destined to be with, or that we have that amazing connection with, either is not aware of that connection, or doesn't want that connection, or they're not ready for it, or the universe just, it's not meant to be right now. I don't know. But for whatever reason, now we feel a hole in our soul, and it makes us feel like we have a hole in our life, and it makes it hard to move on. So we feel very trapped by this. But it's about teaching you more about self-love, as in not putting so much focus on another person. And even if it's a twin flame connection, regardless, it doesn't matter. It's not the exception. We still have to work on our self-love with ourselves. We still have to take care of ourselves. I think that sometimes people have the misconception, and I'm really not here to teach anybody what twin flames really are and what they aren't, but this is just my understanding. Sometimes twin flame, or people that have a twin flame, will say things like, well, I need to, I have to, I owe it to them, I owe them my life. That's crazy. You owe it to yourself to take care of you more than anybody else. So it doesn't supersede any other relationship in your life just because it's a twin flame. The same dynamics of self-care and self-love still apply, regardless if you have a twin flame or not. So it's about not forgetting that, not letting this soul connection trap you in such a way to where now you're not able to even love yourself anymore. That you've completely thrown that out the window and you're not even taking care of yourself anymore. So this is what your angels and your guides are working on with you. And how teachable are you? So for some of your guides and angels, they may be very, I don't even want to say this because angels don't get frustrated. I feel like our spirit guides do, and this is just my opinion, because your spirit guides have been human before. So when they come, that's why they're your spirit guide, is because they get it. They get it, okay? But they're in spiritual form, so they're not of the 3D world. So they do understand your very human and very ego and 3D thinking. They do. They get it. But I'm sure that they can be frustrated in the sense of, how teachable are you? Like, how many times are you going to need to learn this lesson? How many times you're going to have to go through the shit before you get to this point? How many times are you going to have to see this specific situation play out a certain way before you get it? How teachable are you? So I feel like for some of you, your spirit guides are coming through and just saying, if there's a cycle that's been going on and on and on for a really long time, it might be time to change something major. It might be time to create a major shift in your life, so that way something can majorly change. Okay? Because they can't do it for you. You have free will. They can't do it for you. But they're coming through and asking you, how teachable are you? Are you really going to get it? How long is it going to take? Because it's really hard to sit back and see you continuously suffer. That's just what's coming through, you guys. And then we got the dreams card here. So to me, it's about dreams, paying attention to your dreams, writing your dreams down, as in your dreams. Your spirit guides and your angels have messages for you in your dreams. But this is also about tending to what you want to do with your life. If there's certain dreams that you've been putting on hold because you've just been so wrapped up in this, it's like, it's time to think again about what you want. It's time to remember what you dream about. It's time for you to get back into this energy here. Where is it? I'm sorry, I got to pull it out. Where is it? Right here. It's the 9 of Chalices. What do you love? What do you want to do? What sounds good? What do you want moving forward with your life? What does this person want here? Okay. So anyways, like I said, these last messages, if I accidentally said divine feminine or divine masculine, really it's for either or. Whoever's watching this reading, these were special messages for you when it came to this particular situation and this particular reading. So anyways, take the messages as you guys will. I hope that you guys resonated with it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that reading, and if you've stayed tuned, you obviously wanted to know what happened to Mystic Moon as well as any shop updates. So first off, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that reached out to me during my absence to see how I was doing and to wish me well. I do appreciate that so much, and I do apologize to anybody that I didn't get back to. Just know that I was going through a difficult time, and you know, it's all a learning experience for me, so it's not a boo-hoo session here. I just wanted to basically explain to you guys what happened. Obviously with my Etsy shop, anybody can purchase a reading which leads me to my next 2 points here. The first one that I was going to make is that I got extremely busy. So people are purchasing readings. I can't limit them. So literally if I wake up and I have, 20 readings, it's like, oh my gosh, where do I put everybody? I really did try to do my best with my schedule, but I stacked so many readings up against me within a short period of time that I got very, very overwhelmed. So it caused me to shut down my Etsy shop temporarily. And then when I got caught up with those readings, I was so exhausted that I just literally had nothing to give to any readings for YouTube or to continuously do readings for clients. So I apologize for those that reached out to me that had to wait, or I'm really sorry about that. I do plan to not have that happen again. So these are the measures now that I have to take. So this is going into the second thing, which I don't really want to go into it too detailed because I don't want to bash anybody, but I did deal with a specific client that came at me in such a horrible negative way that it really just sent me over the edge, as in I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this anymore as far as readings on YouTube, opening myself up to basically any person out there that may be unstable or not understand what it is that I do. So that's why I opened up this reading as that statement and disclaimer of I'm not a psychic, because I don't know if people are misinterpreting what it is that I do or what it is that I don't do. So moving forward, I'm not going to have any more of those issues, because people, when they purchase a reading from me on my Etsy shop, it's all in big, bold print, all caps of what I do and what I don't do. And when I am dealing with somebody on an email as far as setting up a reading, if I'm getting any vibes or any signs that they don't understand what it is that I do, or that they didn't read the disclaimer or whatever that is, or they're coming at me with a bunch of questions that I know I'm not going to be able to answer because A, I'm not psychic, or B, they're already telling me how their life is and they're just looking for a confirmation and they're not willing to listen to anything as far as channeled information, then I'm just going to refund them their money right then and there. I'm not even going to go into the reading. So I feel like I'm not going to have a lot of these issues moving forward, because I'm taking great measures now to put up those boundaries from the very start, the very, very get-go. Okay. So as far as the wait times are concerned, if my wait time is too long for you, I am going to have it in the announcement box. So it's going to be at the beginning of my Etsy channel. You're going to see it, not channel, the Etsy shop, you're going to see it. And if you can't see the information, or you can't find it, or you don't feel like you can trust it because I didn't update it or whatever, just go ahead and email me and I'll go ahead and answer you right then and there and just let you know what the wait time is. But the thing is, if I'm too long of a wait time, there are other wonderful readers out there to choose from. Erica from Erica AP Tarot is a wonderful, wonderful twin flame reader. She, of course, may be backed up as well, but if there's a chance that you guys can get in with her, instead of me, she's a great choice. So I just want to let you guys know that, okay? But yeah, with my bad experience, it did teach me a lot as far as, moving forward, like how I'm going to do things and what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to put up with. First of all, I'm not going to put up with anybody's bullshit at all. I don't care. I mean, I'm a very empathic, sensitive, good-natured person, but if you push me, especially if I have offered to help you and fix things, or, fix anything that happened in the past, and you come back and you bite me in the ass, a month later and blaming me for all your bullshit and your problems, yeah, I'm sorry. It's going to cause me to it's going to do a number on me, and it did. But I'm not going to allow that situation to ruin my what I do here on YouTube and what I do for people. I'm just not going to let it ruin that. So it took me, like I said, it took me about a week to get out of this funk. It did. It took me a week to get out of this funk. And that's why I waited so long to do a reading and opened up my Etsy shop. So now my Etsy shop is back open, so you guys can go ahead and take a look at my readings, which have changed. So moving forward, I can refuse to work with anybody. So new listings as far as the all in caps are going to be what I do, what I don't do. This has caused me to change certain things, and I'll tell you what they are. Because of the amount of business that I got before, doing hour-long readings probably isn't the most efficient for not only my clients, but my business. So I have taken down most of my readings to 20-minute, 30-minute, and 45-minute readings, okay? I did add some extra 20-minute readings for twin flames. So if you've had a reading with me before and you just want to check the energy real quick on your twin flame, it's perfect reading. It is. It's a great reading. So you guys can see the new prices. I will still offer an hour-long reading. Not my preference to do them, but if you guys are really wanting that hour-long reading, I will do them. As far as specific questions, I've actually taken a lot of the specific questions that you might have on a reading out. So if you guys want specific questions in a reading, again, yes or no, or time confirmations, you guys got to make sure that you understand that it's an energy check and not a definite. But those readings are going to be a little bit more expensive because energy questions, questions where I'm really having to go into your personal energy and the personal energy of the situation and check up on those questions. It takes more time. I mean, it doesn't take more time. It takes more energy out on me. So it's just going to be a little bit more. So I just want you guys to know that. So as far as confirmation for connections, I will not be doing that. I did it a few times when I started doing twin flame readings, and I'm not going to be doing those. People will ask me over and over again, is this person my true twin flame? I cannot tell you that. No one can tell you that. That's just my opinion. So we have cards that say yes or no if you want to rely on that information that way, but I can't tell you 100% whether or not somebody is yes or no, 100% your twin flame. I can't. But I can certainly do a reading and check your connections, because you're coming to me wanting to know if I can do a check-in on an energy between you and another person. So you guys have a significant connection to somebody. We'll check in on that. I have cards that indicate twin flame. I have cards that indicate soulmate and karmics and all that other stuff. I'll certainly let you know that there's a theme that I'm seeing here, but that is up to you to decide whether or not that's twin flame or not. So please, after my reading, do not ask me, do you think it's a twin flame? I'm not going to answer those questions, because to me, it's just a very personal thing. It's a personal choice. It's a personal journey. Sometimes it's a part of our journey to find out that person that we thought is our twin flame is not our twin flame. And sometimes it's just a part of the journey of being on it, as far as maybe we just need to send unconditional love to this person, period. Maybe this person is prepping you for your real twin flame. But again, I'm not God. I can't tell you that specifically 100%. It's very personal to you, and it's a personal thing that you're going to have to discover on your own. So I just won't be doing that anymore, okay? A lot of my new boundaries that I'm having to put up is with my older readings. I had said that I'm going to do an email follow-up with my clients. I'm no longer going to be doing that. That doesn't mean that my client can't ask me a question as far as, hey, I didn't understand what you said, or there was a question that I had that you didn't address. Can you explain it to me? Sure, no problem. But or if you wanted to say, hey, I love the reading, that's always great too. But I don't have a lot of time these days to answer back each email that I get. So I feel terrible about that. I really do. And two, sometimes these emails have led, and this is not really for the clients that I've worked with, that I'm still working with now. So please don't take this personally at all, if like you feel like I'm talking about you, because I'm not. But some of these have been in the past with people I'm no longer working with, but they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing for information. And they're now trying to get another reading out of the reading that I just did. And now they're trying to get me to get more, do more of a reading for them. And because I'm such a nice person, I tend to kind of fall into that trap. And so now I have to put this huge boundary up. Plus another thing is that if you guys are asking me a bunch of personal questions, not questions about me, which I don't really share with anybody anyways, but personal things as in, what do you think that I should do in my life? I can't give you that advice anymore. I just can't. Because if you do something and your life falls apart, I'm going to feel terrible. So there's a difference between channeled information and my advice. You're paying me for my channeled information. I don't have it in me to put myself out there personally just to feel terrible later if something terrible happens. So that means that people that are coming at me in a hysterical way in an email, either complaining or they're sad, or they're straight up blaming me for something that I said in one of my readings. Those are the kinds of people that I'm going to avoid like the plague, because like I said, I'm empathic, and I'm not trying to be a bitch. I'm not trying to be cold. I'm not trying to say I'm not caring, but I'm providing a channeled service. I'm not a counselor for anybody. So I can't have that back and forth email communication constantly going on. It's too taxing and draining on my energy. So I don't want to shut down my shop again. I don't want to shut down my channel again. These are the reasons why. So I just want to be freestyle. I want to inspire others. I want to have fun. That's what this channel is supposed to be about. That's where I want it to stay. If anything that I've set out before as in, I'm going to start doing these types of readings and that cancel it all out. I'm starting fresh. I'm starting over. I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't want to be in any parameter. There are a lot of readers out there that do all the astrological signs. I'm probably not going to be one of them. As much as I wanted to do it, I might not be able to do it. So I don't want to get your guys' hopes up when I say, I was going to do this and I was going to do that. I'm just going to stop doing that. I'm going to do what I want when I want, and there you go. That's just going to be it. I don't like to stay in the guidelines of things. I'm a Sagittarius, man. That's just the way it is. I don't like to be confined. Just the bottom line. So anyways, So I just wanted to explain that to you guys. Moving forward, that's what you can expect working with me. Please take the time to read what I have listed in Etsy, so that way you guys know what you're getting yourselves into. If you guys love my readings here on YouTube, you will probably like one of your readings, hopefully, that I give you a personal reading. If you're not really enjoying my public readings, you're not going to enjoy one of my private readings. So save yourself your money and your time. Okay. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to bringing you guys more readings on YouTube. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.